Um, we wanted to start this very open and fluid conversation between two acompañantes, dream team members, people who accompany abortions every day, who you'll hear much more about, Nat and Dani. We wanted to start this conversation by hearing a little bit more from everyone who's here. Um, and so I'm sharing in the chat a link to a Jamboard, which you could all open. The Jamboard, you should find me on the first Jam. Okay, I can see some of you joining over there. Estoy compartiendo en el chat un Jamboard. Pueden seguir este link para llegar al Jamboard. So we're starting this conversation today first by asking you all a little bit before we jump into the dialogue. In previous dialogues, we've waited to the end to hear from everyone who's been here. And we realized it would be nice to jump into a little bit of knowing who's showing up and what's on your mind. So you'll find questions on the Jamboard on slide 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see on your screen, we are on slide 1. Tabby, maybe you could show everyone on the top. There's an arrow and you click that to go to the second one. So favor de juntarse al Jamboard, if everyone could come on the Jamboard, and we are on the first slide of the Jamboard. And the question for everyone who's here is, what does care and accompaniment around abortions feel like for you? What is a world where abortions are accompanied and cared for? What does that feel like for you? What does that look like for you? In order to throw something on the Jamboard, you would need to use a sticky note or a post-it. So maybe Tabby, you could show everyone how to do that. Yeah, so it's on the left side of the screen. It's the fourth option. It looks like a little sticky note. So we could just give ourselves 2 to 3 minutes if everyone here could throw on the Jamboard some feeling that you associate with a world where abortions are accompanied in a caring way. Voy a decir lo mismo en español. Si pueden juntarse al link de Jamboard y allá pueden ver la opción de añadir un sticky note, que es la cuarta opción en la parte izquierda. Y allá pueden entrar, poner palabras. Y la pregunta es, ¿cómo se siente para ti el cuidado y el acompañamiento en los abortos? So I can see a lot of things that are coming on. There's radical compassion, radical empathy. It feels like authentic empathy. There's empathy and compassion. Love es un orgullo. It's a very it's something to be proud of. Freeing, freedom, feminism. We are doing it every day in Tamtang, Thailand, and it's also quite challenging. So there are challenges still. It feels humanizing and re-energizing. Acompañar a la mujer en su decisión es sororidad. It's sisterhood. It's building sisterhood and community. It's amoroso. It's full of love, and it's bonito. It's beautiful. It's right. Practicar una ética de solidaridad feminista. It's the practice of a feminist solidarity. Collective autonomy, busting stigma by practice, Great. So we have that Jamboard with us. And if there are other words that come up for you while Nati and Dani are chatting, so you can always go back to that, to the Jamboard and add on more words in there. If all of you could use the top arrow to go to um, the second slide of the Jamboard. Thanks, Tabby. Um, So this is another question which we're going to talk a bit about today. Both Nat and Dani were talking about their experiences um, working and doing accompanying abortions during this pandemic and the various lockdowns. Um, the question I have for everyone here today is in your contexts. Of course, Nat and Dani will tell us more about Poland and Mexico and what they have been experiencing. But in your contexts, in what ways has abortion access changed during this pandemic? What are some new barriers, or what are, it could be barriers, it could also be ways that people are addressing them. But what has this last 1.5 year um, looked like in your context? Um, so, la segunda parte del Jamboard, que pueden ir arriba usando la flecha para ir a la segunda parte, preguntamos sobre la pandemia y cómo la situación y cómo el acceso al aborto se ha cambiado y cuál es el contexto en que las personas que necesitan abortos están ahorita. Pueden decir en unas palabras en ese Jamboard sobre su contexto. Okay, thank you to people who are putting stuff on the Jamboard. There's more needs for telemedicine, and oh my God, some doctors respond and use telemedicine, but the government just sits still. Cambio negativamente por la pandemia y por el gobierno de derecha, a right-wing government, and a lot of negative developments. Aumento de abortos seguros en casa. An increase in safe abortions happening at home. More confusion and fear for people seeking care, but also more innovation in telemedicine. Entonces, mucha gente hablando de la telemedicina. Dificultades de traslado a clínicas de aborto. Difficulties to travel, to move, to mobility, to abortion clinics. Lack of privacy, mobility, access to healthcare, access to money due to unemployment, increasing in sexual and domestic violence, and higher cost of everything around access. Yeah, I'm going to leave that Jamboard there. And if there's anything else, any other reflection that comes up for you or anything that you're really contending with right now, please do use that slide to throw that on there. And I'm sure this also helps Nat and Dani kind of understand the connections between the various people and places that are here today. So thank you. And that Jamboard is right there, that slide. Podemos ir a la siguiente. We can go to the next one. Okay, so this is the last question for everyone who's here before we jump into the dialogue. So we talk a lot about community care. We talk a lot about communities, when we are doing abortion work or any community work. And the question for everyone here is, who is your abortion? Who is or who are your abortion communities? ¿Quiénes son su comunidad del aborto? And that question is really asking, what does community mean for you? ¿Qué significa la comunidad? Donde ustedes trabajan, viven. Entonces, a little bit, Nat and Dani are also going to tell us about the different collective efforts that they've been part of and community care for them. But it's really, it makes us curious to know what it means for everyone else who's here. Okay, so I see there's more people from the Ramona who says, Miss Ramonas, my fellow Ramonas, my partners in Maria Verde Hidalgo, allies around Mexico, around Latin America, and so much love everywhere. For someone else, it's doctors, NGOs, and colleagues in their organization. Okay. Please feel free to think a little bit more about what your community, who is your community, um, and what is it composed of. And if you feel like sharing it with everyone, you could just go to that Jamboard slide and drop that in there. There's a few more girls and women with disabilities who need abortions. My Abortion Without Borders siblings, Women Help Women, abortion support. I think I know who this is. One of our speakers today. Acompañantes feministas de América Latina y Caribe. Las Lilas, Red de Acompañamiento. So Las Lilas is a network for accompanying abortions at the national level. So great. It seems like we are in such good company, and it's really exciting. Oh, okay, Mara, that was you, not Natalia. I thought I just assumed, but thanks for clarifying that. Great, everyone. So we're going to jump into our spacious solidarity dialogue today, where we have two very spacious and very special people here with us. We have Dani from the Ramona in Hidalgo, Mexico, and we have Nat, who's from the Abortion Dream Team and Abortion Without Borders in Poland. A little bit about them. So Dani is a Mexican fat activist, feminist, bisexual, and social psychologist. She has three passions in life, being an abortion doula, her wife, and her English bulldog. And she collaborates with the Ramona, where she fights for a world with free sexualities without stigma for a happier and more tender world. And Nat is the co-founder of the Abortion Dream Team and Abortion Without Borders, a Polish feminist activist helping people access abortions in Poland and working towards the destigmatization of abortion, self-managed abortion enthusiast, a researcher at the Institute of Applied Social Sciences. The sociology and anthropology of law is what Nat is working on and studying at the University of Warsaw. And a little secret is that both of them are in love with their respective bulldogs, which they will maybe share with us a little bit more. Oh, one of them is here on screen with us. Entonces, yo ya voy a empezar a interpretar en español. Para los que necesitan interpretación, pueden ir a la interpretación abajo y elegir español. Nat and Dani, over to you. Tabby, if you could leave us on the Jamboard on this fourth page, which have some of the questions that everyone who's here today had shared on their registration form. Nat and Dani are going to talk. They're going to freestyle. They're going to free flow, and they're going to come and pick up some questions here if they're searching for something more and they just want to connect with everyone who's here. So thank you so much, Nat and Dani. It's all yours. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank to you, Aditi, for making all this possible. I think this space. Oh, there's your bulldog. Oh my God. He's so cute. Is he a he or a she?
She.
She, what's her name?
Afara, which means in English I don't know, disaster. Yeah, I think it's the closest.
Ah, yeah, that's a perfect name for a bulldog, definitely. Yeah, mine is kind of bigger, so I can show him in the screen, but if he comes, I will show you.
Okay.
Oh gosh, this is exciting. We have been waiting for this for a long weeks. So yeah, how are you, Natalie? How do you feel?
I'm quite good, but also um, a little bit nervous because of this meeting, and I decided to share this with you that every time I have to speak about abortion in English is a little bit, you know, I'm stressed, but also I'm really excited because I know that inroads community is the best one, and I know that we are in a safe space and in a brave space. I always feel that inroads community is very, yeah, it's lovely. Like it has really
Yeah.
really nice people. So I'm very happy to be here. And how are you, Danny?
Oh, thank you, Nat. I feel the same. Like, I am very nervous about speaking about abortion in English. It's not something that I do very usually. However, Inroads community is always very tender, very loving community, and I'm so excited about the fact that there's people from many places around the world. And oh my God, I feel like so much more excited about listening to them, even though I know we have to talk, but I want to listen to all of their stories about how they do acompañamiento, about how they support other people around the world. Because, yeah, I think that what it's taking us here is the fact about pandemic. And I think it has changed a lot of things for all of us because I have always seen like these things about pandemic and all of that is something from the movies. I don't know if you feel the same, not like it's something that you don't imagine is going to happen. Nothing get us ready for all of this, for all these changes, for being all in our homes, uh, for all the limitations that pandemic brought to us is so wow. I thought it only happened on Hollywood movies, like for
Yeah,
real.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm I recall a situation when the lockdown was officially started in Europe, and I thought that it will take only 1 week. I don't know what I was I thinking, but I remember when I said to my friend from Abortion Dream Team, "No, it will take only 1 week," and she said, "How? Like, how you? Why you feel it will take only 1 week?" And I said, "Because I heard it from TV, and I believed in that." And now it's like almost 1.5 year later, and we get used to it, right? Like we really get
Yeah.
used to it, which is very difficult because for many
It
people,
changed
like,
our lives.
yeah, it's going back to the normal, whatever it means. It's difficult for many people because everything has changed. Also, abortion.
And yeah, abortion, healthcare, even how we used to care of ourselves, like self-care things, everything has changed and it changed all of a sudden so unexpectedly. And I felt the same at the beginning. I was like, this is going to take just 1 week, 2 week, like it's
Yeah,
so fast, but no, it's already 1 year and a half. Oh my God. And all these changes, well, I think it has, in our case, in the Ramona, I think it has changes for good because some things we have, mm, like we thought they were like that and they will remain like that forever, like it's okay, we are used to that. And then all of a sudden everything changed and we had to rethought ourselves, like how we were making this service, how we had to be closer to women, how to communicate the service we do, we have to train ourselves even for all these adversities coming all of a sudden. For example, I remember before pandemic, advanced procedures were just not so regular procedures, you know, like 1, 2 in a month, second trimester abortions. But then of a sudden there were like 10, like 15, like 20 in a same month. And I remember that we make all this reflection about advanced procedures, and many of these women planned these pregnancies. They were happy with their pregnancies, but then all of a sudden everything changed, and they were like, "Well, I can't continue this pregnancy because everything is so difficult right now. I don't have a job anymore. I don't have money anymore. I don't know when this is going to end," and everything changed. I don't
Yeah, we
know
have
if.
the same. It's the same, but also for me, I have to speak about two levels because I'm a member of Abortion Dream Team, and we like support people mostly in first trimester of abortion, during medical abortion. But before pandemic started, we launched together with other 5 organizations, Abortion Without Borders, to help people have abortion in second trim abroad, because in Poland the law is really restricted, and you can have abortion right now only in case if your life is in danger. But it's even, you know, in this case very difficult to have access, because mental health, for example, is not considered as a health, and we have something like consensus objection, which means that doctors has a right to say no. And of course, this is the biggest barrier. So we decided with other 5 organizations, Abortion Support Network, Abortion Network Amsterdam, Ciocia Basia, which means Aunt Basia. Basia is a Polish name, and Kobiety w Sieci and Women Help Women to create this initiative to help people go abroad for second trimester abortion, and organize it, pay for it, assist, because 4 of this organization actually work abroad in Germany, Netherlands, England. And it was in December 2019, and we named ourselves Abortion Without Borders, because, you know, abortion has no borders. And boom, in March, you know, suddenly borders came back, and everything was so difficult. We were making jokes that our work looks like travel agency, because, you know, you have to find a flight, find a clinic, and find a hotel which is open, or hostel. And during lockdown, it's really, really difficult. So for me, my like personal way, when I'm looking at this whole year, I see that I'm more enthusiastic as to medical abortion, self-managed abortion right now. And I feel that this sentence, which was very popular in Europe, I don't know how in your country or part of world, but in Europe was very popular, the sentence "stay at home" during pandemic. Like everything was stay at home, order food, stay at home, watch movies, stay at home. And we decided also to this sentence use to have as many abortion at homes as it possible, to not force people to travel, to not force people to, you know, even like, I don't know how to how to say that, but many people, they really do abortion in Poland in secret. Like they don't tell their husbands, partners, family that they are pregnant. And how you explain to your boyfriend or, I don't know, husband that you have to go to Germany for 5 days or to Netherlands for 5 days during the pandemic? Why, right? So many people took pills with us in their private bathrooms during night when their partners were asleep, and we were, with them on the messenger or phones. And yeah, that was the reality. And I'm wondering how is in your group, do you have this experience also?
Yeah, well, kind of our context here in Mexico. Mexico context is kind of complex because it's like we have 32 little Mexicos inside whole Mexico. Every state in Mexico has different laws about abortion, which make it really, really difficult and complex, to go forward together because every state has its own laws. In Hidalgo, we have around 5 possibilities to access to legal abortion. Health issues, danger of death to the mother, rape cases, um, fecundation in vitro. I don't know how to say that exactly. And for an accident kind of thing, and genetic malformaciones. So those are the possibilities to access. However, the advantage we have in Hidalgo is that we are very close to Mexico City. For example, in my city, we are just 1 hour and a half away from Mexico City, where abortion is legal during the first 12 weeks, voluntary abortion. So that's a great thing for us because many women decide to go to Mexico City, have their procedures in clinics from the state, which are free. That's great as well. And there are also private clinics, which are not hugely expensive. However, for many, many people, it's completely unacceptable to go there and have the procedure because they don't have the money. So that's our context here in Mexico. But we have the advantage of being very near to Mexico City, kind of advantage. But also, as you say, that's a problem that even if we are close, some women don't have the chance, the opportunity, the possibility to say, I'm going to disappear a whole day, like to go to Mexico City. Or in case of advanced procedures, they don't have the possibility at all to say, I'm going to disappear 3 days, and even for women that have the advanced procedures, that, like it's already visible, the pregnancy, like, okay, I'm going to go to Mexico City and come back without the belly, that's impossible. So the pandemic also had the restrictions in mobility, even if it's too near. People were very afraid to go into the buses, to go into Mexico City, because Mexico City has a huge amount of COVID cases. It was the most dangerous part, like a lot of cases. And people was scared. People had no money. People had no possibility to disappear because lack of privacy. Sometimes a lot of students or women who go to work, like, go the whole day to Mexico City, come back to their homes at night, and everything was okay. But now there was no possibility to do that, Uh, so what they decided to do is to come back to feminist collectives and to ask for self-managed abortion. people start to engaging more on self-managing abortion, start to have the curiosity to learn more about misoprostol, mifepristone, all those possibilities. And I think between the bad things, that was a good thing. People start engaging, start interesting on knowing more about self-managing abortion. In the Ramona, we started small workshops about self-managed abortion. So people start understanding and learning that this is a safe procedure, that this is possible, that this is even recommended for the WHO, you know, like World Health Organization even said like, okay, go ahead, you can do this at home. It's safe for you, it's healthy for you. Just you need to have the great and very good and verified information to do this procedure at home, so you can stay safe and don't need to go to the clinics now. So we had the opportunity to make these workshops. Also, we understand that we need more acompañantes. So we decided to make a school for acompañantes. So we made a little school. We launch it every two times a year, approximately. Right now we are on our third generation of acompañantes, and we make a huge work. You know, like we do not only teach them about the protocol to use the medicines. I think that's the easiest part. It's about telling them about how to support them psychologically to women, about the legal context, about how to support post-abortion procedures, you know, like all these feelings going on. Uh, we we also get them close to institutions, governmental institutions, so they understand where to go, where to call, how to manage all these context of violence, context of emergency, how to contain alarm signs during the procedures. So we have to make these efforts to make it more accessible to women, to have more acompañantes in Hidalgo, to have more people knowing about this, to have more people talking about abortion. That I think you will be agree with me that that's the most important thing. People talking about abortion makes the stigma going away.
Exactly. I have two questions to you, because I'm really like, I always thought that Poland and Mexico and Argentina and Chile are much closer than Poland and some countries in Europe because of the law and because of the access. And right now, I'm really happy to hear that you also decided to like build this community of supporters. Last year, after the, I don't know, 2 months of lockdown, we decided to organize a abortion summer camp for people who wants to support other people during medical abortion. And right now we are working on a second summer camp. It will be in September, and it will be 80 people on it. So I'm really happy that this idea is happening. But my question to you is about safety of these people, of helping, because in Polish law says that having an abortion is not a crime, but helping during abortion, it might be a crime. So for us, it's an obstacle to find people, to work with us, safe people, people who are really like devoted to abortion, and make them also safe for each other. Like, we all the time have to speak about the safety, about the legal phase of it, how it's in your country. Is it easy to find these people? Is it risky? How you organize it?
Um, I think that Marea Verde had make it much more easier to find each other. You know, like we have the pañuelo everywhere, so we identify each other much easier than before. However, yeah, definitely the law is something that it's always something that is worrying us about this kind of stuff. However, we have make a deep uh, analysis about our law, our legal context, and in Hidalgo, even though abortion is restricted, accompanying abortions, accompanying decisions, sharing information is a human right, and that's not a crime. You know,
Mhm.
uh, for example, it is a crime to make a procedure, an abortion procedure, into a woman, right? However, sharing the information, accompanying decisions, being there for other women, that's not a crime. And that's something that I think we have to be very clear, especially if we have people here from Mexico, being clear about this. Law is protecting us because accompanying abortions, sharing information is not a crime. However, we know a lot of uh, practitioners that they do have abortions and they do it in terrible conditions for women, but they do not have any problems with law. You know, like there are a lot of things that money is moving there, and they mistreat women in horrible ways. We know about those cases. Here in my city, there is a professional. I can even tell him a professional. However, he's a very bad person. He does abortion procedures. He mistreats women. He humiliates women. But he's still there. You know, like
Mhm.
there's a lot of money going on there. However, for us as acompañantes, as people who share information, activists, we are not making any crime. We are just protecting ourselves under the human right of sharing information, the human right of receiving even information, you know, and that's something that protects us, and that's something that we have to be clear about this movement and about. I know obviously laws change in every country. For example, I can even tell about Central America, where I know that even sharing information can be considered a crime and can be criminalized for the law, even sharing information. However, fortunately, this is not the case in Mexico, and that's something that we have this huge advantage to support women. Also, I think it's good to tell, having this question from you, Nat, that in Mexico we have access to misoprostol in every pharmacy. You don't need a medical prescription to access. So that's great for us as well. So, you know,
Amazing.
many women go to the pharmacy, get their misoprostol, and that's great, you know. However, we have also to understand that not every woman has the opportunity to buy the pills, you know, even if
Yeah.
they
What is
don't.
the price?
Um, a box with 28
Mhm.
misoprostol pills is around $25.
Okay, but how is it expensive? Like, for a normal people, like the.
I guess that for normal people is relatively okay.
Okay.
However, for many people who we know are the people who need us the most, is something that is very expensive. For example,
Yeah.
uh, pills costs are $25. Okay. However, monthly salary for many people here in Mexico is around 200. You know,
Uh,
so yeah, it's kind
it's
of.
yeah, big. It's a big amount.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a big amount. So we have to find emergency funds, ask for people who has the opportunity to buy the pills to give us the remaining, to make a little bank of misoprostol, and to donate to people who really needs it and doesn't have the possibility to pay for them.
Yeah. In Poland, access to pills is also restricted because misoprostol is only, yes, it's only available in 2 specific drugs, and you have to have a prescription to buy pills, and it's really difficult to receive a prescription for misoprostol if you don't have this specific, sickness, because you use misoprostol for many kind of things. In Poland, you can use misoprostol only in case you have ulcers. I think it's stomach disease, and I don't know how to say that. The not muscles, but the second thing.
The bones.
Yes. And this is the one barrier. Second barrier is that I think still self-managed abortion in Poland is stigmatized, is considered as a underground option, not safe. We try to change it, and we really work hard to promote the safety of self-managed abortion, and we try to convince even doctors to promote this idea. But also in Poland, it's very difficult to work with medical professionals because they are full of abortion stigma. They, many of them don't believe in medical abortion because they don't have money from it, of course. It's also about that, and also about power, because it's a revolution. For me, self-managed abortion is also an act of revolution, because you don't need a doctor. And many doctors in Poland, they don't like medical abortion because they don't feel needed anymore. And many people who are reaching us, they are saying that doctors said me that the worst thing is taking pills, that I have to borrow money and go to Germany, and it's much safer, and I will die, and blah, blah, blah. So this is something that is really annoying for us. And it's also difficult to find doctor who would be supporter, who would be, the leader of promoting self-managed abortion among doctors. And it's also because of the law, because in Poland, since 1993, there is a ban of abortion, and we have colleagues on medical college, and they told us that they don't even hear abortion on even the word of abortion, They don't have lessons how to do abortion. They hear that morning after pill is a way of abortion. So it's really complicated to work with that. And also, second thing is that you have to order pills from the service, from the Women Help Women or Women on Web, and you have to wait for the pills. So for many people, the waiting is the most difficult part.
Stressful, super stressful.
And the pandemic also, complicated that, because the post office were, everybody were ordering something, so it was busy for post office. And during that time, many people was waiting for pills, And it took time, 1 week, sometimes even 2 weeks. And we know
there was even a lockdown in India, and
yeah,
those weren't coming out.
yeah, exactly. So this was also the another one complication of pandemic and COVID. I think that we have very nice questions on our Jamboard. And how do you feel? Should we ask ourselves 1 or 2 questions from this questions?
Yes, definitely, because they are great questions. For example, maybe we can start like, what inspires an energy? Oh, I'm kind of offline. I'm sorry. You as an abortion acompañante, what inspires you? And it's a Jamboard. Sorry, I can see it bigger.
What inspires you and energizes you as
acompañante?
Yeah. Okay, so you want to start?
Yeah. Let me put, yeah, okay. Well, what inspires me? I think it's all the women that we support. It inspires me to continue every day, like listening to their stories, understanding that this is a need, a real need, even though right movement try to say that this is not necessary, even the government tries to invisibilize the things that we do, even when health professionals diminishes our work. I think that's even make me like, I need to do more things. Like I think that really inspires me to continue. But something that it always makes my heart like go like boom, 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 and warm is when we finish the procedure, we finish the acompañamiento, and people and women tell us, thank you so much, because other ways I I didn't have the chance to do this. You saved my life. And I don't try to put myself in a savior position. It's nothing like that. Just like that really inspires you, because that's something that tells you that this needs to continue. This is a work that needs to go on, and we need to be more and more each time and normalize abortion procedures as part of our health, sexual health, and as part of our sexuality. What do you think, Nat? What inspires you?
Oh my God, so many people. But I heard maybe 3 years ago from Justina from Abortion Dream Team, like she was supporting some women during her abortion, and I was listening. And at the end of the conversation, she said to her, "Congratulations, you are not pregnant anymore." And I remember that I was so like surprised to hear this kind of message, that you can congratulate someone that, you know, that she's not pregnant anymore. And I asked Justina, are you saying this always? And she said, you know, sometimes you know that woman, she really needs to hear that. Sometimes it's like clear that you have to say it, because she's really like she's really like she wants to hear that so much that someone has to say it. And you are the best person, because you are there with her, and you know that this is the end, and you can, you know, go, and that the problem is solved. And I remember that I decided to also try to say that to people. And it's even hard to count how many tears of joy I saw because of that, because of this congratulations, because of this I don't know, validation that the process is over and you can be proud of yourself. Like you can be proud that you did it, that you decided for yourself, that you were brave, that you know, gave yourself a right to do this. And this is something that we can congratulate ourselves. So this is something that gives me really like energy for sure, but also for me very inspiring is Latin America. I have to say that the movement from your country, from Argentina, from Middle America, I feel like really I can learn from you and your journey. And this is something this is a reason that I would love to learn Spanish also. But the third thing is that I also have had an abortion a couple years ago. And even I was feminist activist. When I saw the positive test, I was so disappointed of myself, and I was so sad and scary and full of stigma that I decided to not ask my friend for help and do it alone, because I felt that it's a shame to ask for help, and it's a shame to be pregnant if you are a feminist and sexuality educator and you are like visible in the movement. And I remember that I received a help from doulas, but we didn't know each other at that time. I found the number and online forum from on internet, and now we work each other. We working each other because together, because we really believe that abortion is something that connects us. Like really, the experience of abortion can be something that inspires you to help other people, to bust stigma. Right now, I'm not ashamed. Maybe I'm not proud because I don't, in my case, I think that you can be proud of your abortion. I'm not proud only because I was full of shame. And right now it would be totally different. But I also try to be good for myself and understand that this 7 years ago, I didn't know so many lovely people. I didn't know about inroads. I didn't know about safety of self-managed abortion. I didn't know that you can be, I don't know, you can be brave and say things as abortion is okay because you believe that. And right now I know this, and I try to also help other people by saying these things to them, that you can be sad, you can feel guilty, but you are not doing anything bad. And even if you don't agree with me, hopefully someday you will, recall this conversation and maybe you feel different about you. Because I think that, yeah, experience of abortion is something that can be normal, but it also can change you, can change your life, can change your attitude. And for me, it was like that. And I really like this work. I feel that my work inspires me. Other people inspires me. People who we work, who we help inspires me. And it's also about satisfaction, like show me another work when you have, after 7 hours, result that you are successful.
Definitely. Like you feel at peace with
Yeah.
yourself, like this is, we made something as a team,
Yes.
as a person. Yeah, definitely. I'm so agree with you, Nat. There's also this question. I think this is so interesting. That says, how do you keep check on your own abortion stigma? And I think we were talking about that a few days ago, Nat, because it's a very interesting question. Because I think it's something that never ends. You know, like we are in this world full of stigma. We grew up in this world full of stigma, and so much machismo and a lot of things going on that are wrong. And I think it's an unending procedure of going on and analyzing things and thinking what I did, what I said, even if it sounds exhausting, and it is exhausting. Uh, I think it's also very uh, nutritive for your for your health, for your brain, for your relationships, for your friendships, for I can even say in my case that my relationship with my mother, with my grandma, with my friends, with my cousins, and all the women around me have improved so much about analyzing my own stigma. When I start accompanying abortions, like I had to make a huge analysis of my own deep thoughts about abortion, because I today I'm not ashamed to say that at the beginning I was like, oh no, abortion has to be only for certain reasons. Abortion has to be only for rape. Abortion has only to be by certain weeks, like all those kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think it's a procedure, and I think we can all go through this procedure, thinking ourselves. Least I think that, I don't know, what do you think, Nat? But I think the most basic point of destigmatizing ourselves is listening to
Yeah.
other people's stories. To not only about empathy, because sometimes I think that empathy sounds like, like a recording all the time. Empathy. I think it's more about caring, about being tender, about being loving with other people, like listening and saying, hey, I hadn't thought about that. You're so right. And I have to rethink myself about this thing, because what you have told me is so important and so necessary and so different of what I have thought of my life of all these years. What do you think, Nat?
Yeah, I totally agree. And there is a saying also in Polish that you don't have to understand everything to, not be an asshole. And I also think that we really, like, yeah, as you said, that the stigmatization of abortions is a process. And sometimes we are at the beginning, sometimes we make step back, step forward, and it's connected with so many things in our life, not only with the big things like church or politics or schools, but also with our families, with our own experience, um, and our also own lives and experience of our friends. And as you said, I also, like 10 years ago, I was saying to people what I thought it should be said. Abortion is something that nobody wants, but sometimes it's needed. And when I was pregnant, the one thing I wanted the most was abortion, really. And for me was like, it's maybe we should be honest and If I'm pregnant and I don't want to be pregnant and I need and I want an abortion, maybe we should say it. I want an abortion. I need an abortion. It's not like people want to hear or used to say. And during my work and during talking with people, helping them during their abortions, I realized that we are so different. And as you said, we have to listen to each other. I don't have to understand everything. I don't have to, be, like empathy to everything. I love empathy, and I think that radical empathy is something that will save us. But I think also that radical empathy also is about listening, not controlling, not deciding, not judging people for their decisions. But also, I think that it's still many work to do for me, because to be honest, sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I feel that people who are reaching us, and I think it's good to say it, sometimes people are annoying. Sometimes people are, like asking the same question all and over, all the time. And sometimes the stigma, come because of that. You think, oh my God, let's stop.
Or
Like,
they are rude.
yeah,
Sometimes
or they are rude.
people
Of course,
rude.
exactly. And especially during pandemic, it was also much visible because of stress, because of work, because of the health issues. And sometimes it's really, easy to judge someone's decision because you are tired, because you are, I don't know. Yeah, tired, I think, is the most feasible word here. But for me, it's good to speak with my colleagues from group about the situation. Sometimes we even make jokes about abortion. Sometimes, like, we believe that joy and fun is something that will also help us to this. And it's always good to stop before you say something stigmatized. Keep it to yourself, and then at the end of the day, ask yourself a question: why you thought something like this? It was about, it was about stigma, or it was about something else? Why you thought that this is something that should be not happening, or something like that? But also, I think that helping abortion is the most important tool to bust self-stigma also, because if you help people, you have access to so many stories, so many reasons of abortion, so many cases. You have people who need abortion many times. You have people who are saying sorry because of getting pregnant second time, and you can say to this person who are saying sorry to you that she's pregnant second time and she needs abortion, that you don't have to be sorry for me. Like, everything is okay. You need an abortion and you will have it. Like, I'm not a position of control, to you don't have to be sorry. Everything is okay. And then you come back to work, to your home, and you can realize that this is busting stigma in practice, also your stigma.
Yeah, I'm so agree with you. Like a lot of people come and trying to explain themselves, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to do that. You are here, and you are going to have an abortion if that's your decision, and we are
Yeah,
here with you to do so.
And doesn't
And
matter if it's 5, 6, or 7 abortion. We are here with you. We're not gonna, like count on it, or I don't know, say to you, hope to not see you anymore. Like, no, we are here for you.
And I think that's an important thing that you're mentioning, that sometimes when we are so tired and overwhelmed, sometimes quality of service can go down, and we can react in not the best ways. So what you say is so, so important, like keeping on having these conversations with our partners, like, I feel tired, this case was difficult for this reason, I feel like I want to tell them this, but I think this is stigmatizing. What do you think? Like having these communities of care with other people, with other colleagues, with our own collectives is so, so important to keep improving our services, but also to keep analyzing our own stigma, uh, but also to make them more sustainable, to keep growing this community about talking about abortions, accompanying abortions, to keep growing the love around abortions, like being proud about the work we do every day. So I think all of that is so important. Thank you so much for telling me. I feel so identified with what you are telling me. And
I have
I
the
don't know
same.
if people here wants to tell something, wants to share with us your experiences, or I don't know who
We would
wants
love to hear.
yeah, please let us know. How do you feel? Come on, guys. I saw a question here from Genesis. Genesis, hola Genesis. She says, now that you mention it, can you talk a bit about how institutions invisibilizes the work of well, basically for institutions, we don't exist. I don't know if you agree with me, Natalie. We don't exist. And basically it's like they don't know anything. They are like, like ignorant people who is putting women at risk and all this kind of stuff, when actually the experts in abortion is all of us here.
Yeah,
Like we are some more of the times, most of the times, we are the ones who know more
of
about
course.
abortion procedures, symptoms, alarm signs, and all of that, the medicians. And I think that's part of their agenda of control over women's body. Like women cannot know about what is going on and how they feel and about their necessities. We always will need a doctor to know about this, and instead of recovering our autonomy and all of those kind of things. And I think that's the way they invisibilize us. Basically, we don't even exist for them. But come on, guys, let us hear you. Oh, thank you, Mel. So cute, your comments.
There's been a
And
lot going on in the chat as well. And I think the conversation has moved people in various ways. Um, and I know everyone is probably in a comfortable space of listening and reflecting. But yeah, we have this time for anybody who wants to come on the microphone and just um, be here with Nat and Dani and maybe ask something. I see Champu wants to ask something. We can't hear you, Champu. Can you all hear?
No, we cannot hear you, dear.
Um, I wonder if it's the headphones, Champu. Um, okay. Maybe you could type your question. It's nice to see you as well. Yeah, so Champu is asking whether you have a doctor backup. That's one question. And Laura has also put a question in the chat. For Nat, how does the Polish government, which is in the EU, justify such restrictive laws? So, yeah.
I can say shortly about that. Our Polish government do everything to move Poland out from EU, and we are the only one country in the whole world, I think, who during pandemic changed the law, abortion law, even to more restrictive. In October 2020, by the higher court, but it's connected to government, our law was restricted, and right now abortion is not happening in Polish hospitals. So for them, EU and European Union or European Parliament means nothing. Like really, they don't care. They don't feel that there is institutions that they should, I don't know, say something important about human rights. And also, it's not only about abortion, but it's also about LGBT rights, migrants' rights. Like really, our government is really racist, homophobic, anti-women, like the worst kind of government ever. And I think it's also very popular situation to Hungary, Russia, Brazil. I know that Mel is here from Brazil. So we are in this group of countries who have really stupid prime ministers and presidents who are even don't, like Trump, for example, from US, the former president. They don't care about institutions, about people.
Supecha Baltic also asks us whether you have a doctor backup or only your organization. Not that I only trust the doctor. Well, in our case, in the Ramona, we have a network of doctors. We also have lawyers. We have nurses. We have psychologists who support us in the different, like abortion is not only the pills. That's the most basic of all of it. However, we need a team around, a network around to provide women the best service as possible. Like they have, if they need therapy, if they need a lawyer, if they need a doctor to follow up or to make an ultrasound, or when we have any doubt about, for example, I can say medications, making any kind of contraindication. We need doctors to ask them for these. And well, that's what we have. We have a network, a solid network of other kind of professionals that support our work in the Ramona and us collective. And I think that Natalie would agree with this.
Yeah, but we don't have a doctor, and we have to, we don't have, as I said before, we don't have a good cooperation with doctors, but I believe that someday it will change, because right now many students, medical students, are reaching us and offer their help. But right now we have to teach them how to do abortion work, because for them, it's something new, but it will probably change. I hope so. I see the question also about, oh, I love this question about share something that made you laugh or something that made you happy while accompanying in an abortion?
Oh, my team made me laugh a lot. I love them so much. Ramona's team, we are more like a family. We always say that. We have known each other since we are like 18 years old. Right now, I am 29. So we have a huge story together. We are all psychologists. We decided we wanted to make something around abortion and sexual and reproductive rights, and right now, like, they are my rock. They made me laugh. They are my support. Sometimes they also made me mad, but but that's only once in a while. But they made me really happy. Sometimes we organize, like, a few months ago we went to the beach together, and we rent a cute house near to the beach. So we were spending a lot of time together, relaxing with each other. um, we go to eat something nice. We here where is the office, it's very close at Tianguis. At Tianguis is like a small uh, shop, and there's a lot of things, and we go there and eat uh, esquites, this like kind of a snack. And we go with the snacks. We have a lot of fun. We have table games, and that's what make work much relaxing, much better. What about you, Nat?
I had a really, I think, many situations when I was really laughing during helping someone during abortion, but I remember especially one. It was not maybe like a joyful, but it was funny and sweet. I was helping women who was very, very Catholic. She wrote me that she's pregnant and she doesn't want to be pregnant, and she has some moral issues about deciding on abortion, and she needs to speak with someone. And I said to her that for me it's very difficult to support her because I'm not Catholic, and it's very difficult to understand for me this kind of like moral issues. And she said, and I said that maybe you should go to some, I don't know, some people from your, religion community to speak. And she said, are you crazy? Like, no, I have to speak with you. Like, no, it's impossible to ask my priest about abortion. No, you have to listen to me. And I said, okay, like, let's talk, but probably I will not understand everything. And she took pills. I was with her on phone because we live in other part of Poland. And maybe 2 hours after abortion, she called me, and I was afraid that she's like sad, or I don't know, like she's mad at herself. But she said, I have a stupid question, but I have to ask this. Can I go for a party today? And I said, yes. But if a bleeding is not heavy and if you feel like good, you can go. And she said, no, I feel good. I'm asking, about the morality of party. Can I go after my abortion to dance? Like, is it normal? And I was so laughing because I was like, oh my God, you can do whatever you want, like, really. And she said, this is the second time when I realized that I have to ask someone about things, like connected with my beliefs, but I have to ask this not people from my community, but someone like you. And I was very happy that she asked me, and she went dancing, she had fun, and it was so nice. And 2 or 3 weeks later, I received a gift at my work at university. She found me on the internet where I work, and she sent me a gift, and it was a cookie with the sentence of John Paul II. like, um, like you are a fuel human if you give someone else things that you have enough or something like that. But that was so funny that I received a gift, with the sentence of Polish Pope. It was really, really funny, like really funny. And we are still in touch right now. Like we send, greetings cards for each other. She's always like, she sometimes pretends to be stigmatized. Sometimes she writes a message like, oh, it's 2 years since this situation and I'm still remember this. I'm so sad that happened, but I'm also very happy that I met you. This is really, 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 really good to see this, like how she's, I don't know, bust her own stigma.
Yeah, definitely. I also have a chance to have this kind of questions that, yeah, they are kind of funny. Like sometimes I had a question about if she can shave, if people can use
Yeah.
makeup after the abortion, like, but all of this is about the stigma, like,
Eat hamburger.
yeah.
We received once a time a question, can I eat a hamburger during my abortion? And it was like,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
but it's like,
Yes, it's
but this
like
is,
there are so many these misbeliefs around abortion. Like people, like literally, they think they cannot continue with their normal lives after having
yes,
this
because it's an
procedure.
abortion, right? It's an abortion.
Yeah,
You should be sad, you should cry, and everything
you
should
must
be,
be punished.
yes. You cannot eat, dance, laugh,
Have
or
sex again.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, definitely. What else? I think there was another question here. Uh, this, Suspecha said, when you said accompany, is it face to face or by other means? In our case, in the Ramona, is whatever women need. Uh, we made remote on WhatsApp. We make telephone. We make voice notes. We make face to face. We have a space here in the office where they have a nice bed. Um, Cobijitas, everything else, teas, a TV. They have even video games. We have Wi-Fi, so women can feel very comfortable, very happy, and the most comfortable as possible in this space. And the bed is very cozy and warm, and the room is very lighted, so they can feel very comfortable. And that's because we think that abortion needs to be very dignified for women. They have to be happy, they have to be comfortable. I know stories are very different between each woman, like necessities and how they feel is very different, but we feel that they need to feel as comfortable and as they can feel like they are not doing anything wrong, because they are not doing anything wrong, and so we adjust to women necessities, needs. So we do remote, telephone, or face to face, whatever they want, whatever they need. What about you, Nat?
Since COVID started, we changed our way of working. Before the pandemic, we were also available at the, like in person. We sometimes even invited people to our private houses. right now I'm really close to burnout, and I decided to, to keep my home for myself. And also because of the law, we decided to change the way of working and work mostly by the phone and internet, because as I said, helping in Poland is not a crime, but it can be a crime. And it changed 1 year ago when we realized that we have to also take care of ourselves.
That's so important. And I think that many times like we promote about self-care in the feminist groups, but we are the people that doesn't practice self-care. And I think we have to take care about that, and we have to take it seriously, because doing self-care will make our movements more sustainable. We cannot be exhausted and sick all the time. And like last week I was very sick. I told you about that. Like I was so sick because of burnout. And we have to understand that we have to take care. We have to being monitoring ourselves, about our responsibilities, our duties, because otherwise this movement is not going to be sustainable for anybody in any place, in any country. We have to really take care of ourselves. And this doesn't mean only, like being relaxed, and also saying no to things, also to,
Boundaries.
yeah, about boundaries, about having the important conversations that might seem uncomfortable, but they are important to have it, to be better, to feel better about ourselves and our work. So yeah, do you have any other question, guys, in the chat, or something else? Aditi?
We are also at time. We have, I know maybe you don't know what time or where we are right now because you flowed so beautifully in this conversation. Um, yeah, we have reached the time, and I wanted to invite people who are here. I hope we managed to get to all the questions that people had coming up for you now. But yeah, these conversations, they continue, and I think for now, since it's been about an hour and a half, it's a good moment to wind it down. And I think Dani and Nat as well, I'm sure you can go on talking about this, but I think, like we were saying, a break is always good as well. Yeah, to everyone who's been here with us today, I was mainly in the Spanish little group. I hope that the session was meaningful for you. There were so many things, and I wanted to thank everyone who's here for really listening and participating in the initial part. And to Dani and Nat, I want to truly tell you how grateful we are that you came here, just showed up as you are, and reflected and flowed. And it really allowed so many experiences. Like you said, we have so many stories within us and so many people who you've walked with. And of course, keeping everyone in mind, but the experiences you shared were very we're creating a community right here of we're creating understanding, we're creating inspiration where we are together here. So I'm glad that Inroads has these possibilities to dialogue and to get to know each other. For everyone who's listening, Dani and Nat just met each other. They literally just met each other. You may think they are old friends, and who knows what lies ahead. But that's the beauty of these dialogues. We will have many more, and I really hope everyone can join in. We hope these dialogues take shape into other kinds of learning spaces, co-learning spaces. Dani was one of the facilitators of a short inroads, what could you call it, a learning group for people who accompany abortions, which happened
Community
last year.
care.
A community care of care, exactly. So we hope to have more such ones. And if these sessions inspire anyone over here to to propose or to suggest something, we are more than happy to support that. There's an evaluation form, hay un formulario de evaluación. Perdón, se me olvidó traducir todo. But there's an evaluation form in the chat, and we would really appreciate if you could fill that out and let us know what went well, what could be improved, what you're looking forward to seeing in future sessions, and how you would like to continue to be involved. So yeah, please join me, everybody, in thanking and like an applause from wherever you are to Nat and Dani for this beautiful session today. Yeah, thank you,
Thank you very
Jessica,
much.
Nat, Karen. I see you all in the chat. I know I can't see you in
I would
person.
like to thank Inroads for organizing this and connecting us.
Yes, it's so amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the people who joined, for your time and everything else. Let's meet again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great, everyone. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good rest. Rest has been important. A good night, Chompu. It's late where I am. It must be super late where you are. Thanks for being here. Bye. Oh, hi, Phyllis. Hi, Lillian.
Gracias, chao por todo.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Ephraim. Bye, Mel. Bye, 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 Gladys, Tamara, Karen, Nurul, Genesis, Ihunania, who's been at all the dialogues. So nice to see you again. Dania, Catherine. We will connect again soon. And yeah, Dani and Nat will be in touch. Oh, the whole Di Ramona team. Bye.
Bye, guys. See you.
Goodbye.